Train, diet, sleep well. You know all these three things are the key for our gym gains. But here's the real question. What's actually make us stick with these new habits? What's the psychological method just behind showing up, eating well, and stay consistent with your trainings? Today, I'm gonna share with you 8 things that I have learned over the last 13 years that I have been consistently working out at the gym. The first thing that I want to mention is that discipline has to be bigger than your motivation. When you first sign up at the gym, you feel excited, you are motivated, but after a few weeks, the motivation fades and then the workouts feel boring. Going to the gym is not as excited as it used to be, and that's where the real work begins. You need to understand that this new routine is something that is part of your new identity, because exercises is just going to be part of your life. And that's when discipline comes into place. And that discipline that you just build at the gym is what is gonna move you forward. And the best part about having this skill that's called discipline, that it doesn't just stay at the gym, because once you are just consistent with your workouts, you can see that it's just you're gonna become more disciplined with your diet, with your sleep, and even at work, you're just gonna perform better. So here's the takeaway from this. Don't rely on motivation. Decide the days that you're gonna train in advance. Decide which days of the week you are going to be training. And then these are gonna be non-negotiable days. And don't negotiate with yourself. That's when you just build discipline that actually lasts. The second thing that I'd love to mention is that your environment is gonna affect your gains. I still remember my first year at the gym. I was training consistently, but I wasn't seeing like any progress happening. I didn't have control of my diet. I was like 17 years old. I was still living with my family. My mom was actually responsible for cooking the food for me. I remember some of the days I used to tell her, look, I need to eat some chicken. I can't be really eating, fried things or anything like that. But she didn't really care much. She just said, look, if you wanna cook your own food, just go to the market. I didn't know how to cook, and I was totally dependent on her. That's when I realized that if I don't take control of my diet, I won't be taking control of my results. And I either had to learn how to cook or just get out of my house. And then I chose the second option. Your environment just works the same way. So here's the takeaway of this point. Just set up your environment with your goals. Just talk to the people around you and just tell them just to keep the junk food away. And just build one environment that the health choice is the easy choice. And the third thing that I would love to mention that just made a huge difference in my life is just be organized with your diet, with your training, and with your recovering days. If you start the week without knowing which days you're going to be training, what you're going to be eating, and which days you are actually not going to the gym, you are just setting yourself up for failing. Because this is what happens. If you don't know which exercises you're going to be doing at the gym, you just end up wasting a little of time. And another good point about being organized with your workouts, if you have to know how much weight you just lifted the last time that you were working out that specific muscle at the gym. Because if you know how much you lifted the last workout, you know how much you have to be lifting today just to be better. So the overload is what actually moves you forward. You're gonna have to see progress happening while you're just lifting weights. And that affects your diet as well. If you don't know what you're gonna be eating, you're just gonna end up eating something that is a little bit easier to eat, what's convenient, what is ready. So here's the takeaway of this point. Don't leave your training and your diet up to chance. Plan your week in advance and prepare your food so you know exactly what you're gonna be eating, or just do one day of meal prep so you can just get everything organized. And then when you walk into the gym, you're just gonna have routine and systems in place, which is just gonna be way easier to do your workouts, because structure beats motivation every single time. The fourth thing that I would love to talk about is the hard truth, but a lot of people avoid to say, that food will be boring sometimes it took me a while just to accept this fact that I'm not gonna be eating all the time something that is rich in flavor, because when you choose to be eating healthy, you won't have a big varieties of food to eat. And you can actually just have some spices, some seasonings in your chicken, your rice, your beef, whatever. You can just put something else just to have a little bit of taste on it, a little bit different. But you're always gonna end up eating basically the same thing. But here's the real question. Which one would you like to choose? The body that you actually want yourself to be? Or you're just gonna be choosing the food which is rich in flavor, but you're just gonna end up fat? And it's always like a choice. It's all about trading offs. And if you want results, I think we know which answer to pick. The fifth thing that I would love to mention here is just the whole process of becoming healthy is not about the destination. It's not about the body that we're going to get in the end of this journey. It's about the journey itself. It's about the person who you are actually becoming. And here's the thing that I tell them when they come to me just looking for help. I just tell them, this is about a transformation that's just going to happen in your life. I'm going to be, talking to you every single day just to make sure that you're actually doing what you're supposed to do, which is working out, following a diet, just having the correct amount of water a day, and if you are sleeping well, because these are the 4 pillars for you to get results at the gym. Because we are changing your identity. You are becoming a person who delays gratification. So that's the mindset that I love to pass on to my clients, because consistency and hard work is actually what is going to bring you the results. And here's the thing that I want you to take away from this point. Just focus on the daily wins and celebrate them, because each day it's a new victory. It's a new win. The results is not if they are going to happen, is actually when they are going to happen. The sixth thing that I would love to mention here is that patience is what is going to build your body that I always dreamed of. You won't see the results overnight. Sure, if you're just trying to lose weight, you can actually see a lot of progress within the first couple of weeks. I've got a client right now that he has lost about 4 kilos in the first 4 weeks that I've been working together. And that has been great, but it won't be always like that, because if you want to lose weight, you just have to be in a calorie deficit that is just gonna be way easier for you just to start losing some weight. But it won't always be like that, because losing weight is way easier than actually putting some muscle in, just to gaining some weight. Because look, it's way easier than to demolish a house than actually building one from the ground up. That's exactly what happens with your body. If you're just losing weight, that's going to be way easier and way quicker than actually building muscle. And at some point, you just hit a plateau. It's just going to feel like your diet, you're just working out, you're following a diet, but nothing is really happening. And then what should you do now? That's when you're just going to have to find an expert or like a professional that can help you just to see where the problem is. The takeaway from this point is just be patient, stick with your goals, and celebrate the small wins every single day, like I just mentioned in the other topic. The 7th point that I would love to mention here that has been very important during my journey editing is you have to learn how to take action regardless your emotions. This one is so important because there are gonna be some days that you just feel tired, you don't want to go to the gym, you are just looking for some excuses, because it's the talk between your subconscious and your conscious mind, because your subconscious mind is going to tell you, just stay here in the comfort, I don't want to go, just today. And that's why it's so important just to have discipline in your life, which is the first topic I just mentioned here in this video. And I always tell people that if it is written there in your calendar that you have to go to the gym, that's it. That's no negotiable thing. So if you're just like, sitting down on your couch and watching Netflix and you don't feel like you're going to the gym, it's way easier for you just to make the decision of not going. So the takeaway of this point is choose the hard path, choose the uncomfortable situation. That's just part of your new identity now. Keep the promise to yourself. Go to the gym and make the decision right there. And then the eighth and the last point that I would love to mention here in this video is the gym is just a mirror to your life. After 13 years of working out, I can easily say that the gym just shaped the person I am today. I just fell in love with the process of putting myself in uncomfortable situations because I know that's exactly where growth happens. And I just keep the promise to myself as well. When I first came to Australia, I didn't know how to speak English. I didn't have my family to support me. I didn't have money. I had money for like 1 month of bills to pay. And that was basically what I had. And I managed to buy a car that I always dreamed of. And the most important thing, I'm teaching people how to have this skill in life. And that's why I'm just sharing with you all. Because if that is one person that is getting some benefits from this video, I am just happy to be doing that. And also have this new identity. And if you're just like struggling with a workout, you don't know what to eat, you don't have a routine in place, I've got a link here in my description that you can actually book a call with me. It's completely free. I can just talk to you, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be able to help you with that. And I've got another link here in my description as well, which is my free community that you can just be part of. That's basically it for the video. If you found something valuable here, please just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.